Wang Bingbing in Iron Man, Xu Qing in Loopers, Hollywood in recent years has created awkward Chinese versions of blockbuster films to get past the regulators here.
But U.S. film studios are now going the next step, creating original Chinese content right here in China. As this market is poised to overtake the U.S. in box office sales, made-in-China films are starting to look like a lucrative proposition.
China already overtook Japan in 2012 as the world's second-largest film market, and Pacific Ridge Pictures has projected it will overtake the U.S. in the next 3 to 4 years. And it increasingly makes its own blockbusters. Lost in Thailand, released late 2012, made over $200 million US, putting it just behind Avatar on Ent Group's list of China's top-grossing films. With Chinese films commanding a bigger share of the box office and imported films subjected to quotas, it's no surprise DreamWorks China joint venture recently joined Chinese production house Dream of Dragon Pictures to develop stories here. Joe Aguilar is the Chief Creative Officer for Oriental DreamWorks.
We're still debating about whether we're going to do it just in Chinese language first, create a franchise, and then redo the movie for Western audiences. So that's one thought, or versus just doing it English language and trying to hit it one time for both audiences. I do like the idea of making it really big for China and then redoing it with Western actors and doing it for the Western audience, but having it be a franchise picture.
But censorship will be a major challenge, says Michael Keane, a professor of China media.
Many people in China who are regulators know this, that the reason why the Korean wave took off was because the government released its censorship on topics at the end of the 90s, and it just unleashed a flow of creativity. Now, if Chinese writers were allowed to have that degree of freedom, this would be the greatest injection into the Chinese film and TV industries.
Relativity Media, producer of films like The Family and 21 and Over, has been navigating censorship in China for a decade and has just signed a deal with Jiangsu Broadcasting to create local shows. CEO Ryan Kavanaugh.
Whether it's an official co-production or even a Chinese just originated movie, you're working with censorship up front, and they're looking at a script and a package and telling you what you can and can't do. And I understand that's part of the process and we work under it, but it makes it more challenging to create these global stories.
So while global production houses will continue to flock to China, with the censors involved, it might take more time for China-made content to come to the world.